Wokies these days have lost the ability to make sense. All in the bid to seem woke, they've caused constant humiliation for themselves. Here are idiot wokies making a fool of themselves.
Instead of using the typical mom and dad parent titles, there's actually gender neutral and non-binary parent titles that exist. Here are some examples. Pom Pom, Zaza.
I'd honestly rather call my parents by their names than Pom Pom and Zaza. Sounds like some sort of juice drink flavors that they put over blueberry and raspberry to make it sound fun.
Real sad. He's against you. Why will you support a racist?
Tell me what he said about African
He's going to
Americans.
send you back to Africa. That's what he said. He said send Mexicans back to Mexico. You are a disgrace to America for being a young black man supporting a racist.
Thank you. Yeah, that is awesome.
That's sad.
That's awesome.
How does your parents feel about you holding a Trump sign?
They're Trump fans too.
Where they disgrace to America too, because he doesn't like you or your parents.
All my friends are immigrants. I have 3 friends.
Yeah, you didn't ask our question.
And they're happy.
What has he said?
He said send Mexicans back to Mexico.
No, he said
don't let Muslims here.
Yeah, he said.
Why?
Are you gonna let me talk or are you gonna yell?
No, I'm telling you because you holding this Trump sign and you need to be taught.
We can't conversation, can we? We cannot do that, right?
And then
okay.
telling you against your own people.
She just graduated high school, so she's not a kid no more. Okay.
What would you tell him when a racist tell him send Mexican back to Mexico? What would you tell a young black man?
I only believe that he's gonna send illegals back.
Yeah, exactly.
He said in your face send Mexican back to Mexico.
He said illegals.
Just illegals.
Illegals
only. And
Please.
His wife is not legal. She's from Europe.
She's legal.
How she was born in Europe.
Okay.
Imagine having to argue with a teenager in front of the media. Some people really have no shame. What you just watched are a couple of grown women screaming. It's unbelievably disturbing, but very funny at the same time.
I'm not into all the other bullshit. I think
What other bullshit?
the they and them.
Yeah.
And all that extra shit that we added during the pandemic because everyone was so bored on their houses. They just started to make up more shit and more shit.
More stuff.
Yeah. That's where the conservatives like me because I'm just real.
Yeah, you do have a conservative vibe to
you're
you.
not they and them. You're trans, you're male, or you're female.
And you're standing on
People
that.
get so mad when I say that. How are you a they? What does that mean? It's stupid is what it is.
Yeah.
But you need someone like me that looks like me to say it. Because if you say it, it turns into you're homophobic, you hate trans people, you hate gays. And it's just how you feel. You don't hate anyone. You just think it's stupid.
I never thought in a million years that I'd agree with what a trans guy had to say.
All right, out here.
This shop assistant should have told that unwell person that the pink tampon box identifies as a non-pink man tampon box and demand that person respect the tampon's pronouns.
I can look at the societal damage and how horrific it is mentally on women to be involved in work, and none of them end up with a good result.
But why do you care about these
ever.
people
Because,
if they're
because,
nobodies?
Because this is the society I live in.
Right, but I don't care about anyone.
Because here's what I would hope. That I'd be driving down the road in my shitty car, and the tire goes, and bam, I hit a rock, and my daughters are orphaned, and they're struggling, and one of their friends goes, hey, you know what? You could go to this shoot. they'll pay you 20 grand. And she goes, you know what? That sounds like easy money. I wish to God before they walk in that studio, somebody like me would be like, no, don't do that. Do anything but that. Work as a barista. Go do anything but this.
Right.
But that's what I would hope, but that's not the world we live in.
Look, I'm not going to debate you on that, but if someone chooses to go into that, it's like, I mean, working at Starbucks is arguably more degrading to your body than taking a...
Yeah, why can't somebody choose to fuck a body?
Well, they can.
Then do you have any moral qualms with that?
No, because the body's...
So, this absolute waste of space in the baseball hat is an of pimp. That's all you need to know.
What have I lied about? Like everything you said. Name one thing I lied about. Everything. Name one.
Yeah, you said there's no such thing as white privilege.
There is no such thing as white privilege. It's racist and a lie. Asian Americans are the richest people in America per race. If you make 3 big choices in America, you're guaranteed not to live in poverty. You know what those 3 choices are? Get married before you have kids, get a job, and graduate high school. You know what community does that at the highest rate? Asian Americans. That's why they're successful. We live in a meritocracy. You make good choices, you will be rewarded for those choices, irrelevant of your skin color. So when you say white privilege exists, good choice privilege exists.
And at the same time, the consequences of laziness and the victim mentality also exists.
Just like in gender roles, like I don't want him to expect me to do anything as a woman. Like I don't want him to have any certain expectation of he thinks I should do this or that I should do that.
I'm trying to call back to the beginning of the conversation. Didn't you say men should pay for first dates?
I said they should, yeah. But if they don't, I'm not saying they have to. Like I would go 50-50, but I would prefer if they did.
So they should?
They should, yeah. But it's not like a deal. Like I'm not like, oh, like I'm not gonna go on this date.
But isn't that based on a perception of a gender role?
Yeah, but it's not like I'm like he has to. I would just prefer that. Like if he prefers me. He has
to if he's gonna date you, right?
No, he doesn't have to. I just would prefer
Okay, so
that.
so you would go on dates with men who you paid for?
I wouldn't pay for them. No, I would go 50-50.
Yeah, no, you wouldn't pay for them. So then you have a perceived gender role, a stereotypical gender role that you want him to do, right?
I'm really starting to get sick of hearing these people speak. What are you even talking about?
Listen to what I'm saying, and you will understand, perhaps, what I'm trying to imply here. That's very patronizing. Utilizing the hostages. Yeah, I am being patronizing. I don't know who the f you are, and you're over here chirping all the way from fucking London about Palestine and doing a both sides are fine type bullshit where you're talking about how you want to free Palestine, but also simultaneously, you know, both sides got a lot going on. Shut the f up. You don't know anything.
You know what? I'll allow it. If you really want to fight, get on a plane. You're a man, aren't you?
Peacefully standing in front of a wall that we are allowed to express ourselves on.
God, you're gonna love this. Thank you.
Taylor's giving me a new hoodie.
You dummies. No, not the Eunice.
Not the Eunice.
Oh yeah, y'all. It's all good, y'all.
Intimidated by a crime.
I remember when going to college was to get a job, not prevent others from doing theirs. Anyway, these kids have come to realize that you can't get between a man and his job.
Julia, you know my pronouns are they, them. How are you doing?
Yeah. Thank you for telling me your pronouns. I use correct grammar. So the only thing I would need to refer you to is to your face would be you, but I'm not being rude. You can choose your pronouns. You can choose what you want to call yourself, but you don't get to require me to use incorrect grammar and factually incorrect things. You're not a plural. You're a one person, and you're a female person. So I will use she and her. Thank you very much.
Do what you like, I guess.
Well, there you are. You didn't need to tell me then, did you?
Maybe I'm just making sure people know in case they're watching and they want to refer to me respectfully.
Is it disrespectful for me to use correct factual grammar?
It's not incorrect or unfactual grammar to use singular they them pronouns for an individual. But we're here to talk about the cast review.
Yeah, but you chose to bring it up.
You chose to use the incorrect pronouns for me.
I chose to use the correct pronouns for a single woman who is appearing on my show.
I'm not a single woman, though. I'm a very special non-binary trans person, as you just pointed out. I
didn't
really
just
want to
point
stand
that
out in the crowd.
I didn't just point that out. I introduced you as a journalist and a Virgin Radio presenter.
No, just before I came on, you were talking about how people with all these labels like to be special. And I'm just making sure that everyone knows I'm special.
Okay, I'm not special. I'm just a boring old heterosexual married woman. But, you know, sorry about that. We're not allowed to do that anymore. In fact, that probably does make me special now. I don't know. Anyway, Shivani, we're colleagues, and I obviously want to treat respect. But again, for me, respect works both ways, and that also requires people on both sides to be respectful of people's willingness to not want to tell lies or to be dishonest to themselves. So we'll have to respect each other's views on this.
Ah, the silly smirk, desperately trying to convince herself of her own lies. The cognitive dissonance must be exhausting.
Dominant narrative in America is white people are evil, white people suck, we should be ashamed of ourselves. And
I don't think we should be ashamed of ourselves. I think that we should take responsibility for the system that we've created.
The best system in the world?
Oh, we do not have the best system in the world.
Who has a better system?
There are many European countries that are much better off than
you
us.
mean like the European countries with a higher density of whites, like Northern Europe?
That's one way to phrase it, I guess.
You don't mean Turkey.
No.
You don't mean Eastern Europe.
No.
With the communists. So the only time you can come up with a system that's better than America, it's a country that's more white than America.
This is the moment she realized she was racist.
Who's taking care of your kids right now?
Excuse me, are you trying to shame a working mother
Not
of
at
four?
all, but you weren't telling
Who's
us.
taking care of my kids right now? What an anti-feminist statement to make. In fact, I have an amazing spouse who
Anyone
homeschools
who's
my children.
pro-choice,
But if
welcome
my
outside.
children were in daycare right now, who are you to tell me that I'm not a good mother?
I'm not telling you you're not a good mother.
Oh, you just asked who are taking care of my children. Would you ask a man that? Would you have asked a man that? If a man was standing here, would you have said, who's at home taking care of your kids? No, you wouldn't. You asked me that because I was a woman. That's anti-feminist.
I've never seen someone run out so quick. She realized real fast how foolish she just made herself look.
Your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct, is a biological female.
So what happens if we have maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman, right? You know, cisgender woman, right? As you just explained, but maybe doesn't have the ability to reproduce. Maybe doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question. You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not myself.
You used the word, so what did you mean when you said trans women are women if you don't know what it means?
Right? So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term. It includes people
That describes what?
People who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
Was to each their own. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently.
That doesn't,
and so
I'm not
trans
asking
women are women too.
Never heard someone speak so much and nothing at the same time.
Can you point me to any single country that has restricted freedom of speech that has done better?
I simply ask you for the source.
Okay.
Can you give me the source
Nazi
on that?
Germany, Soviet Russia, Castro, Che Guevara regimes, current UK, Canada, Maoist China. Need I go on?
Absolutely. You said every country.
Every single country that has limited freedom of speech has resulted in a net loss.
Please give me an actual citation to back up your claim.
You would say that Nazi Germany, Soviet Russia, Maoist China, Che Guevara, Castro regimes. And I can't go through every single country.
I'm just asking you to give me a scholarly source that says that.
I don't have a scholarly source with me right now saying that Nazi Germany is worse off with speech laws than the United States.
And so what I said
You're just going to
was-
have to take my word for it.
And exactly what I said was there are plenty of examples where it doesn't work. You're absolutely right. I don't disagree
Can
with
you
that at all.
point me to any example where it
Eventually,
has?
we can possibly get to the point where it can work. And we need to keep trying. That doesn't mean
One.
because it hasn't worked,
One.
we don't give up.
One country that has better net results for human freedom and human rights by restricting speech. What's your source? One.
I'm honestly going to say we're not there yet.
Thank you so much. Hopefully,
hate
once we find that
speech,
one
and I'm not
example, that'll be great.
This is just like asking for actual citation to accept that water is colorless. It is not our fault that you chose to argue on something you have no idea about.
That's where the whole debate goes rogue. You were born a biological male. You were born a biological female. Douglas, biological male. This is just a fact. Right?
No.
Once you start saying there are hundreds of genders and you can identify as anything you want, you're going to end up with kids at school going, I'm a horse. And you've got to treat me like a horse.
Piers, you're confusing two things.
No, I'm not.
Sex and gender.
I'm not.
I accept.
They are being conflated.
Biological sex is one thing which I totally accept, and so do 99% of the people in the LGBT plus community. Gender is something different. Gender identity is how you see yourself.
And do you believe it's limitless?
No, I don't believe it's limitless.
What's the limit?
Well, there was basically male and female and intersex, but there are people who have different gender identities.
No, but how many genders are there?
Well, there is no fixed number.
So what's the limit?
I don't see a particular limit.
There's no limit. So when you said there's no, you said there is a limit. Now you admit there's no limit.
These people can't explain their own insanity because deep down they know that it's lunacy. Nothing says peaceful protest like harassing drivers and blocking traffic. It's all part of the woke playbook. Say one thing, do the opposite.
What we do is we annualise our figure to full-time. So we look at all part-time employees and full-time employees that may have worked part of a 12-month period, and we annualise that data to take into account part-time hours. So therefore we're converting the part-time hours to full-time, if you like.
So do you take into account the fact that on average a male full-time employee works longer hours than a female full-time employee?
Not directly, no.
Making decisions of wage pay difference without considering work hours is just the opposite direction of how things are supposed to be done.
We'll end with this because we're talking about womanhood, so people can probably shout out the question I'm going to ask you right now.
Okay.
You know that you're a woman.
Yes.
What is that?
So gender is a social thing. It only makes sense.
I don't want to hear that. What is a woman? What is a woman?
What is a woman?
The word woman, define in the dictionary, go.
A woman is somebody who is included and respected and seen and participates in society, recognized by other women. If you speak with women...
Circular definition.
That's mine. Whatever.
Okay. All right.
If the very thing you claim to stand for is something you can't even define correcting, does that not mean that there is a knowledge gap that makes everything else you think you know baseless?
Do you feel proud of yourself for debating college kids who are unprepared to speak in front of an audience like yourself? Hold on. You're 30 years old. We can agree you're 30 years old, right? Do you think that's a little bit silly?
Are you a voter?
I am a voter. I'm a registered voter.
I vote and you vote. So I'm talking to voters of this country that will determine the future of Western civilization. That's what I'm doing here today.
Actually, when I first saw this ad, I thought it was like an improv comedy thing. It looked so ridiculous that I didn't even think it was real.
Well, no, you can see. Look how popular Trump is on your campus. How does that make you feel? That's not comedy. That is a 5-alarm fire for Kamala Harris because she's probably going to lose Pennsylvania.
Look.
But no, I just want to be clear. Is there something wrong with talking to voters?
No, there's nothing wrong with talking.
Well, that's
to
what
voters.
we're doing here today. It's an open mic.
I think that you push a dangerous agenda.
Such as?
Your stance on abortion rights, for example.
Here we go.
She's struggling so hard to get a small insult in. I'm embarrassed for you and I don't even know you.
What is your name?
Jean.
Jean, and what is your understanding of the current Republican Party's stance on federal intervention in abortion?
Well, I know that they want to bring it back to the states, right?
So it sounds like you do know that the Republican Party's current stance on abortion is they're against a federal ban on abortion.
I do understand
and we're talking about
that,
a presidential election as the important election that we're talking about here.
I understand that, yes.
Great. So, again, I think this open dialogue is great. I think it's great you're here challenging Charlie, and I think it's great that he's willing to travel campuses across this country to talk to the next generation. We need more conversation. Now, where's the disagreement, though, on content? Because you could criticize style or why you're talking to people or dunk on someone personally, but where do you actually disagree with
I agree
substance?
with the way that you edit content and specifically frame it so that people look bad talking to you. The way that you edit your content.
We post unedited content.
Ma'am, would you like a belt or something?
Where is an area where you have a disagreement with the conservative movement, with Donald Trump, with Charlie Kirk, perhaps with myself? I was a presidential candidate last year. I think we need to talk about that more in the open, and the more we do, the stronger our country is going to be. We got a long line of people, but I want to hear from you one substantive area where you have an authentic disagreement, and I'd be glad to address it. I'm sure Charlie would too.
Disagree with some of the laws that are being pushed in Congress that are against the LGBTQ community and the trans community.
Okay, so let's talk about that. I'm going to give you my view, and then I want to hear yours.
Okay.
My view is that if you're a fully grown adult, 18 or above, you're free to live how you want, dress how you want, marry who you want if you want, if you're over the age of 18.
I agree.
But you are not free to indoctrinate children in schools who are not yet of the age of consent. You are not free, just as you're a 17-year-old or a 15-year-old can't get a tattoo on their own, I don't think that you should be able to go or until the age of 18. And so the lines that I draw here is that men are free to claim to be women and swim in swimming pools. You're not free to claim trophies in a women's sports competition. You're not free to enter a women's locker room. You're not free to change a language, and you're not free to actually indoctrinate our children who are under the age of 5 in schools. Do we agree on the fact that adults should be able to live freely while still treating children differently? If so, we're on the same side of this issue.
Listen, I agree with the majority of what you said. However, I don't think that you're understanding the implications of the laws that are trying to be passed.
I actually don't think you understand anything you're talking about.
We got a head start in the conversation. We got a long line behind you, but my only ask is forget the personal attacks or the stylistic attacks. Focus on substance. The more we debate that, the stronger we're going to be as a country. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
I don't think you're focusing on substance, though. That's the issue.
Hold on. But he intentionally tried to provoke substance out of you. And you said, well, I'm worried about some laws Congress should pass. I have to ask, what laws are you talking about? Can you be specific?
I'm sorry, I'm very nervous, but this is what you do. This is what you do. You take people and you put them under the spotlight and you...
Well, hold on. I didn't ask you to come up here. You voluntarily came to the front of the line.
Is this a free the nipple protest or a political conversation? Anyway, she kept yapping for 60 over minutes, but I don't want to bore you, so over to the next confused human being.
Hey, I really wanted to thank you for coming out today, and specifically for talking to those who have different viewpoints than your own. I'm not looking to argue with you, I just want to know about the ideology as to why you think that a woman shouldn't have the right to her own bodily autonomy in regards to abortion.
A woman should have the right to her own bodily autonomy, but not to kill another human. You know, but as far as the idea that I'm like sitting awake at night thinking, how do I control women's bodies? No, not really, not at all, actually. The thing that I do care about is the preservation of human lives. I don't have an argument that pro-choicers are ignoring a premise. That's fine. You're allowed to ignore a premise or think a premise that I'm giving is wrong. It turns out that the vast majority of women for literally all of human existence have engaged in childbearing and rearing, and it has not, in fact, ruined their lives. In fact, married women with children are, by poll data, the happiest women in America.
All right, thank you for the straw man fallacy. Thank you.
I missed what she actually said. What was it? Straw man?
Straw man fallacy, I think.
You can't just shout straw man and run away. Do you want to come back and explain why it was a straw man, or no? Okay, you're just going to run away.
That's literally throwing rocks at somebody and then going hide. She took one philosophy class and now she's Aristotle.
Can you identify as a black person?
No,
Why?
because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
If that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry.
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
They always disappear when you bring facts and they know they're wrong. When faced with logic, ignorance always wants to flee.
Taliban can use our social media, but an ex-president can't. There is something wrong with that.
Did the Taliban violate community guidelines? It doesn't matter. I think it matters to Twitter what their community guidelines are. That's why they banned Trump, because Trump violated community guidelines. That's what every platform has.
The Taliban stones people because they're gay.
If they've done that and they've posted videos of stoning gay people, I agree they should be removed, and that is fundamentally wrong. No,
So the problem is they're smart enough to not do that.
I'm an American and I have to vote between this person and this person. I need equal access to both of them to decide what's right. Bro, you can be a Klansman, you can say you hate black people. That's not my job to police your language. I can't expect everybody to love me and think the way I think. All y'all think different of me, that's totally dope. But the fact that you want somebody removed because they think differently, that could be you one day.
According to wokies, as long as someone doesn't go against the community guidelines of Twitter, they are not doing anything wrong.
I like your cape.
Thank you. It's a flag.
What's the flag?
Soviet flag.
Oh my gosh. I take it back.
You claimed that the reason that there are more transgender people now is because they are more confused. The hate crimes against transgender people are much higher than those against any other demographic. So is it not more likely that there are more transgender people now because...
Are there more hate crimes in the United States against transgender people or Jews?
I'd guess transgender, but I am not sure.
You are certainly not sure. That's right. It's the answer is Jews.
That'd just be a numbers thing, though. Like if you're like,
it is a numbers thing, but you cited a numbers thing, so then I'm citing a different numbers thing.
0.1% of people in America are transgenders, and yeah, like 100% of them could be like affected by crime.
Is it not though more likely that people are identifying as transgender now because of a decrease in the percentage of hate crimes as opposed to previous decades?
The identification is part of the confusion because a man isn't a woman and a woman isn't a man. There is sexual difference. The sexes are not indistinguishable, they're not indiscernible, and there's a great confusion in our culture that men can be women, but they can't.
A woke person and a Soviet flag is the weirdest combination ever. This kid would literally vanish if he did this in the Soviet Union.
What is a woman?
I think a woman is somebody who identifies as a woman.
Got it. So that's not a definition. That's like saying a table is something that identifies as a table. Give me an objective definition.
If I decided right now that I wanted to identify as a woman, I would be a woman.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the question.
I know, but right now I'm a man, right? So if that happened right now, I'd be a woman.
That thing is.
Once a person makes the decision to identify as a woman,
got it. No,
they're a woman.
That's a separate issue. What is a woman?
That's the definition.
No, I know, but you have to tell me what.
A person who identifies themselves as a woman.
But you have how do you know that they are that thing? It's called circular reasoning. You have to give me a actual definition.
I don't have to. I did give you a definition.
No. You said that a woman is something that thinks they're a woman. That doesn't give me a definition.
Everyone claims to know what a woman wants until it's time to really say what a woman really is. If I wake up and I decide that I identify as a cockroach, then everyone better be careful around me.
Slavery begins in the early 1800s.
Earlier.
No.
Slavery?
1816 is the beginning of slavery.
1619.
Oh, yeah, I guess it would be. Okay.
If she forgot when slavery began in an argument about slavery, I'd have to doubt whatever else she says.
Yes. When does life begin?
In my opinion, well, human life began, or when does life begin? Because that's a different question.
Human life. That's the operative question,
human
right?
Life begins when a human can survive outside, a human can survive outside the body.
Why do you believe that?
That would be, well, because,
No, I don't.
Human life, if I cut off my finger, is that human? That clump of human cells, is that different?
Well, let me ask you a question. So if someone who is on a ventilator who can't survive without external machine support, is that a human life?
Well, they can survive outside the womb.
But not without a machine. Without assistance. Without help.
Okay, people on ventilators, oftentimes will cede their right to be removed from
or someone on dialysis or
someone
someone who's in a nursing home. They can't support themselves, right? But those are still human lives.
Yes.
Got it.
Okay. I think you know the difference between a developing human that may not have a heartbeat or may not have.
Well, heartbeats start at 6 weeks, so that's a different.
That help you.
Now we're moving it back.
So you would be okay with a 6-week abortion ban?
No.
According to his own side, he shouldn't be allowed to have an opinion on this issue. That is the only ground his logic is acceptable.
And what would you say is the main goal with tonight's protest?
I think the goal is just showing our support for Palestine and demanding that NYU stops. I honestly don't know all of what NYU's doing.
Is there something that NYU's doing?
I really don't know. I'm pretty sure they're... Do you know what NYU's doing? About what? About Israel. Why are we protesting here?
Palestine will be free!
I wish I was more educated. I'm not either. I came from Columbia. I was there up at Columbia and we came down. They said NYU students needed our support. So I came down, I heard there's lots of cops.
Joining a protest ground to support a cause is the next big way to be relevant on social media, even if you don't know what you are protesting about. It is a game of knowing how to show the loudest while making videos.
So how many genders are there?
There's so many. The way that the
So many. So many's not a number.
chromosomes actually break down with intersex genders and the way that it actually happens, that is the starting point that you learn in like 5th grade. But when you actually do
Like
real
5th grade.
experiments, you learn that the way that data breaks down when it comes to
Can you give me a number or not?
genders.
Number?
A number? You have 2. Yes. That's 6th grade science. When you move on, there are hundreds of different categories.
So what you learn in 6th grade becomes less true as you get older? Like gravity becomes less true?
That is a basic building
Newton's
block
third
that
law
children
becomes less
learn
true?
in order to understand the concept of gender. When you break it down into actual
Gender and
experiments when it
sex
comes
are
to
directly
chromosome and sex, it breaks down into hundreds of different categories that actually differentiate between just 2 genders. What you're saying is there are facts and you don't believe in there being opinions.
Yes, I am saying that there are facts.
This is a scientific fact that if you talk to any biologist, you will learn.
So in biology they teach you that there's XX and XY chromosomes. So give me a number of how many genders there are. Then we'll start.
Hundreds, many. It breaks
Unlimited,
down.
right?
It breaks
So
down into
it's
so many
anything
more
you want to be,
categories.
anything you feel?
No, it's what scientists determine given specific categories.
XY.
Why do you need a number if you're
Bingo. Why do you need a number? That's a great
You
question.
literally have no idea how it works. You're
Because
using
then you could
6th grade
self-identify to be anything you want at any time.
Literally, biologists are saying that this is the way the gender actually breaks down.
So you would accept the argument that you can self-identify to be anything at any time?
Yes, because literally biologists have
That's
told me
what's
that
wrong
gender-
with not having a number.
There are hundreds of different numbers.
But again, you don't have a number. I just want to recap.
Hundreds. There's hundreds of different
So where would
ways
you
that
put
data breaks down.
Okay, so the data breaks down in 2 very simple predominant categories, XX and XY. And that's no? Oh, so there's not male and female.
I think what happens is you don't understand science and scientific
Oh, I don't.
backing.
Oh, okay. So
and you just want to
so I
put
can
forth this fascist simple.
Oh, fascist simple. Here we go. That's interesting.
That will keep you.
So what is fascist about saying there's 2 genders?
Is you're just being completely not faithful to what actual science is telling you.
No,
because you
science is
put
quite
forward
simple. That
your
there's
own oppressive narrative
Oh,
about
oppressive.
how you think
So
gender
now I'm
should be
oppressive.
believed.
How am I being oppressive? The truth comes out eventually. So how am I being oppressive?
You're being oppressive.
How am I being oppressive?
You're being oppressive by denying people the ability to have.
How have I
their own
denied
identity.
anyone anything? Okay, denying people identity. People can identify however they want. I'm only going to use 2 genders.
Actual science doesn't say there are literally hundreds and hundreds of genders. That girl needs to take her classes again.
But here's more identity politics closer to home. It's from Kmart. I said Target before, I meant Kmart. Actually a TikTok video to supposedly sell its clothes, but maybe I'm just guessing there. Have a look.
When did ads start looking like this? Actually, I am very grateful for woke commercials and ads. They are useful in telling us what not to buy.
In the recent past, you've advocated for the outright eradication of transgenderism from public life, with the claim that the supposed right of confused people to pretend to be the opposite sex necessarily infringes on your right to distinguish between men and women. I'm standing here now, a biological male, wearing a dress with a pair of leggings. Do you sincerely believe that I should be subject to punitive justice on the basis of what I'm wearing? And if so, are you willing to turn yourself in for wearing women's panties in your gay college film?
Well, I'll take those questions in order, I guess. The first one, I would encourage you to behave as a man, is what I would do, because you are a man, and I don't know how exactly you came to the point where you think you're a woman or very much would like to be a woman, but you aren't. And I don't think anyone who is affirming your delusion is helping you. I don't think that they're actually an ally of yours. I think they're lying to you, and I think it's very disrespectful, and I think it will not lead to your flourishing. I think it will only immiserate you. And so you might hate me for telling you the truth, but I think the truth will set you free.
That was a very respectful way of saying a difficult truth. Reality can sometimes be hard, but we don't pretend reality doesn't exist.
Can you identify as a black person?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not black.
I'm not a woman, but I can identify as a woman according to you.
If you transition, maybe.
What defines a transition?
Like, if that's your goal, you know?
If you believe it.
Sure.
If you believe you're black, why aren't you black?
Well, that's just not, that's like genetics. That's like ancestry. Like, you're black, right?
You're also born a man or a woman. It's the same thing. That's also genetics.
Okay, I'm over it.
In her mind, saying I'm over it is an irrefutable comeback. The frightening thing is that that person is allowed to vote in elections.
What about milk? But animals are all the time. Cows are to produce milk. Yeah, to produce milk, a cow has to be impregnated.
You think that cows are being... I gotta be honest,
yes.
I've been doing this for 12 years. I've never heard that before.
Yes, but they are because they're not referred to as being... They're said to be forcibly inseminated. How come that's okay, but a small child is not?
I would not...
Yeah. Welcome to Bull. I don't...
Okay, I'm trying to be nice and respect guidelines, but he sounds like he has minor skeletons in his closet. Babies are not animals, born or unborn. That's all.
Can men get pregnant?
Well, no, I guess men can't get pregnant, but a trans female could get pregnant. Female could get pregnant.
A trans female could get pregnant?
Identify with that. Yeah.
A man who...
Wait, did I say that wrong?
If they don't understand what they are pushing down our throats, why should we? I don't blame you. Nonsense always makes no sense.
We use our privilege to make positive changes. If you find yourself talking over or speaking for BIPOC individuals, or God forbid, correcting them, just take a beat. And instead we can put our listening ears on. So do learn from and amplify the voices of those who have been historically marginalized, and use the privilege you have in order to push for systemic change. As white people, we have a lot to learn and unlearn. So do check your blind spots. You are responsible for your algorithm, believe it or not. Intentionally seek out and share content from BIPOC creators, activists, thought leaders. They should be the leaders of conversations about race and justice and equity. So be ready for feedback and listen when you're corrected, and model doing your best to repair harm that's done, because a lot of the times being an ally means being willing to be uncomfortable. And no one is more uncomfy than someone talking to their bigoted family members. So yes, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, no pun intended.
So this is a teacher talking absolutely nonsense during a Woman for Harris Zoom call. Okay, how is this not racist? These people believe that they need to make way for black people because black people are unable to do anything by themselves. Well, she got fired. So all's well that ends well.
One of the things I always make my hearing friends do is stand to the left of me. Because I'm deaf in my right ear and hard of hearing in my left ear, I hate whenever my friends stand to the right side of me and I have to look over to the right and break my neck while trying to hear. And because my hearing friends always forget, I have to train them to stop doing that. What I do when my hearing friends stand to the right of me, I will literally stop talking, fold my arms, and stare at them forever until they realize their mistake, because they can't keep doing that. And I get that people will forget, but what do you want me to do? I can't have a sign.
Well, aren't you just a ray of sunshine that makes the world more beautiful and overflowing with love? Your friends are so lucky to have you. Never forget that.
Sorry? Whoa, what did you just call me? Oh, sorry, can I have this lady arrested? She just called me a I've got it on video. Can you arrest her? A public order, she just called me a You just called me a Sorry, can you take her away? Sorry, can you take her? You can't call people that. You cannot call people that. You can't call people that. Yeah, you can't call people that. No. Yeah, I've got it on video.
Guess who's not laughing and pointing anymore? You? Guess why? Because you're going to jail.
Is it genuinely your position that you think that all men are pedophiles?
I think the vast majority, yes. Innately, yes. Biologically, yes. I think that they were granted the opportunity to get away with having sex with a 15-year-old girl with no repercussions, they would do it, yes.
What's the evidence for that?
You have no evidence for this.
This entire conversation has been
Yeah,
evidence.
so that's not an argument. That's an argument from incredulity. It's fallacious. What's the evidence that I can look at right now that proves your point?
What are you even talking? Look at.
I'm talking about evidence.
Well, hold on.
Do you have any or not?
Yes.
The least you can do when you make claims like this is to at least have evidence to support your claims. It is just like waking up one morning and saying all humans are serial killers because it's innate and seen in some humans.
With my credit card, I max that out to 4,000.
What do you mean you max it out? Max it out or maxed it out?
So my max, I got confused with the credit debt and the credit limit. I ended up getting a max credit limit of $8,000. So I could spend up to $8,000. That's what that means, right? Me and my boyfriend, me and my friends, we would go out and I'm like, oh, I'll pay for everybody. I got it. I'll spend the money. Don't worry about it. It's just a credit card. So I would pay and pay and pay and pay. And then I called my mom one day and I wanted her to be proud of me. So it's just like, hey, I've got $4,000 credit on my credit card. And she's like, credit limit or credit debt? I was like, what's debt? She's like, that's bad. Why did you do that? I'm like, I thought that was good.
This is just what you should expect when young people focus on learning gay sex than they learn life skills. Says a lot about where the education system is at.
Would you mind defining woke? Because it's come up a couple times and I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
This is going to be one of those moments that goes viral. I mean, woke is something that's very hard to define and we've spent an entire chapter defining it. It is sort of the understanding that we need to totally reimagine and redo society in order to create hierarchies of oppression. It's hard to explain in a 15-second soundbite.
She wrote a whole chapter of the word woke in her book and can't explain what the word means? Then what exactly is that chapter about? She should have been honest and said, I have no idea, but I am certainly cashing in on the phrase.
How do you believe that it's okay to kill an animal when it's not okay to kill a child? You defend a child more. Some children die. Some children never make it out of the womb.
Well, because human beings are human. A is A, and human beings are worthy of protection, and animals are not humans.
What about milk? But animals are raped all the time. Cows are raped to produce milk. Yeah, to produce milk, a cow has to be impregnated.
You think that cows are being raped? I gotta be honest.
Yes.
I've been doing this for 12 years. I've never heard that before.
Yes, but they are raped because they're not referred to as being raped. They're said to be forcibly inseminated. How come that's okay, but raping a small child is not?
I would not.
Yeah. Welcome to Bull.
There is only one thing to say here. No child should be allowed around this human for the sake of their safety.
Why are you destroying private property? That's not cool. You just can't take down other people's ideas because you disagree with the idea of it. If your guys' ideas are so fragile they can never be challenged without you ripping down that, I think that says more about your ideas than his.
Posters aren't supposed to be on the lampposts because you need to have permission to place them.
Like how your flyer is on the pole? So the only free speech that's allowed to happen is yours. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not going to interact with you. If you want to interact, it's not going to happen.
But you won't come and ask them a question.
Go put up the flyers. Come on.
Just so you can tear them down again?
There's still plenty up, aren't there?
We're not taking down your flyers. We're not covering up your flyers. I don't know why you feel the need to take ours down. You want to call us fascists. You want to say that we're horrible people because we have different viewpoints than you, but you're the ones taking down the flag.
It is called double standard for a reason. She made so many valid points, and they couldn't even come up with one.
To me, I don't know, PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech company. We make COVID-19 testing kits, stuff like that. And then 6. It has nothing to do with your background. I don't think you really have the highest EQ out of all of us. Tyler, he ranked last for me personally because the way he carries himself. He was ranking intelligence based on his point of view and not taking in other people's point of views and compiling results, but really just came down to his body language, his demeanor, the way he carried himself, the way he acted towards the group.
So number 1 is Raymond, number 2 would be Kaylee, number 3 will be Tyler, and number 4 would be Shada, number 5 is Sean, and number 6 is Maria.
They were all smart enough to not argue and let the results speak for themselves.
So I give this little speech, like, you gotta get men, you gotta bring the men, you gotta like buy the tickets. Like, I went to Indiana Jones and Jaws and every movie that Steven Spielberg's ever made, and by the way, he's never made a movie with a female lead. Sorry, Steven.
I don't mean to call your ass out, but it's true.
Color purple.
The color purple, thank you. Okay, I'm wrong.
Who needs facts when you have a whole movement behind you?
There's proud, and then there's just being positive in my own skin, and that's what I am.
Right.
I'm not proud to be fat.
Would
I'm
you
not proud
accept?
to...
Would you accept that by medical definition you are morbidly obese?
Look, if that's what medically you want to call it, then call it.
Well,
It's
no,
fine,
you
it's
know
fine.
your weight. I don't.
No. But that's you could say that. Yeah.
Right. So here's
You could
my
say
issue
that.
with this body positivity thing. People shouldn't be celebrating being morbidly obese, in my estimation.
But that's
because actually it is a dangerous condition that causes many people to die.
What they should do is post the aftermath of these choices so people can actually see the consequences of their actions.
I just want to read you this poster that I have because I hear a lot of pro-lifers say that life begins at conception. So my poster reads, "Life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies."
What is it?
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus.
Is it living?
No.
How can it grow if it's not living?
Actually, that's like saying if an acorn is a tree.
When does the fetus become living?
That's actually a good question, but that line...
Yeah, of course, because you don't know it, because it's living. It's living.
It is usually futile to try and talk facts and analysis to people who are enjoying a sense of moral superiority in their ignorance. This is a quote by Thomas Sowell, and this woman right here is a perfect example. A great example.
So maybe I'll start with you, Felix, and ask you about this. So we're talking about same-sex schools, so all girls or all boys, and the possibility that trans children or pupils would not be able to attend. How do you feel about that?
Well, I'd like to begin just by saying, so my name is Felix, my pronouns are he, they. I just wanted to check before I begin if Naomi could confirm her pronouns for me. I say her, I could be wrong, so it'd be great if Naomi could tell me their pronouns.
No, I'm not going to tell you my pronouns.
Why would you like to know Naomi's pronouns? You might as well ask me mine, which you can ask with pleasure if you want to, do you?
Yeah, I would like to actually, yes. Vanessa, what are your pronouns?
Well, I'm she, her. I'm mother of 2 daughters and grandma to 4 grandchildren, and I'm she, her. But I wonder why you want my guest, Naomi, whom you don't know, to tell you her pronouns before we even start.
No one should be forced into the delusions of others. Mental illness is a personal problem, not a societal one.
Chickens want to live
Just like us!
Chickens deserve freedom!
Just like us!
Chickens deserve to be with their families!
Just like us!
Do not buy foster farms lies!
Animals do not want to die! Don't believe the humane slaughter lie! Animals do not want to die! It's their body! Not ours! Their freedom! Not ours! Their baby!
Not ours!
Their family!
Not ours!
For anyone who can hear us, we are here because in Merced County, 2 chickens were rescued in late 2021. They were on their way to the slaughterhouse, inches from the slaughterhouse. These 2 chickens to the foster farms is worth pennies, but their lives matter. These individuals matter.
My question is, which chicken actually complained to you all about being mistreated? I didn't realize that chicken were members of our society.
Your definition is that a woman is someone who is female, you said, right?
Correct, as a biological female.
So what happens if we have maybe someone who is female, identifies as a woman, right? You know, cisgender woman, right? As you just explained, but maybe doesn't have the ability to reproduce. Maybe doesn't have those organs that you're talking about that are reproductive organs.
I have answered the question. You stood up here and said trans women are women.
Yes.
Tell me what you mean. What is a woman?
Womanhood is something that, just as Ethan explained, I cannot define because I am not myself.
You used the word, so what did you mean when you said trans women are women if you don't know what it means?
Right. So here's the thing. So I do not define what a woman is because I do not identify as a woman. Womanhood is something that is an umbrella term It includes people who...
That describes what?
People who identify as a woman.
Identify as what?
As a woman.
What is that?
Was to each their own. Each woman, each man, each person is going to have a different relation with their own gender identity and define it differently.
I am a woman, but I am not a woman because I'm not a woman. Make it make sense to a 2-year-old.
You say a human male who protects his kids. Protects is the word I'm talking about. That's bullying.
Protection is bullying.
Well, yeah.
Now we even have problems with how the dictionary defines protection. If protection means bullying, then everyone would love to be bullied every day.
+2 = 4. Agree or disagree?
I mean, it depends on what the 2 is. Is it a pregnant mom? Is it 2 pregnant moms? Because that's more. So everything is not as simple.
I mean like math.
Just like 2 pencils plus 2 pencils?
The number 2 plus the number 2.
I would say for the most part, yes. There's some variations where, but the thing is, even that is a flawed concept because it's actually, that pencil is billions of atoms that are vibrating.
Usually their problem is with English, but now they have a problem with math. Mathematicians who lived their whole lives proving mathematical theories must be rolling in their graves.
I don't know if you are aware of this, but everyone has a prostate. Literally everyone. But again, this is part of that biology you would have learned if you had stuck with it past middle school.
This would not even be the thought process of anyone who went to biology classes and did not sleep through it. Biology teachers did not pull all that late night preparing slides for class only for their students to come out and say wild things.
The executive director of Spectrum Center, my pronouns are they, them. I am a ilukukaktunga malgruni.
Can someone get a woke interpreter here, please?
Do you think genitals define gender?
No.
If genitals don't define gender, why does removing them affirm it?
A person will feel more affirmed if they change their genitals. It'll help affirm them societally.
Would you say then genitals do you define gender?
No, I don't think so.
Still say no?
No.
So what do you have to say to the person that says you are what you're born with and you just need to accept it?
You.
If genitals do not define gender, then why do removing them affirms it? Watch any woke person argue this for 5 hours, and the only conclusion you would make is that they don't know what they are talking about.
White privilege.
What?
Think about it. Whose flesh tone is this? I have brown Band-Aids in my classroom. I had to special order them. They're twice as much as these, and they're hard to find, and they're frequently out of stock. But when I hand a brown child a white Band-Aid, I am literally adding insult to injury, and I refuse to do that in my classroom.
What injury exactly? The one he needs the Band-Aid for? Or the one that he somehow has to inherit because you guys were bored and needed to create new problems?
Trump or Kamala?
Kamala.
How come?
Because she's brat.
What does that mean?
Google it.
No, but you're right here. I'm asking you.
A brat is a girl who's a little bit messy. She likes to party.
So only because she's a woman, basically? Or what?
I think she has actually really good policies. I think Kamala would actually make this country a better place, whereas I think Trump would make a lot of people sad. Have you seen his 2024 agenda thing?
2024 agenda?
Yeah, he came out with a...
You mean Project 2025? Yeah, he said he doesn't associate with that at all.
Agenda thing? Trump would make people sad? Kamala is a brat? Yay! We no longer speak English. We communicate in foolishness and TikTok trends.
Follow me around some more.
So it's because I'm wearing a MAGA hat.
It's because you're a freak and you want some action.
Got it.
Follow me around some more. I'm going to the management this morning and telling them what the hell is going on with this guy.
He's got gray hairs, you guys, and this is what he has become. A crazy, old, and woke Karen.
Oppress black people.
He's a part of a long chain of a system that has been oppressive, and he magnifies that oppression.
How does he do that?
Obviated in everything, and the fact that you're asking this question just for
tax cuts oppress black people.
The fact that you're asking this for life.
The first setback depresses black people.
You're asking this for views. Is crazy when people are doing this and their lives depend on it. And this is really shameful.
I know.
This is really pathetic.
It's so pathetic that I support a president who doesn't oppress black people.
People to see you, and that's great, and that this is the hill that you're choosing to die on. You can do so much better. Like do a makeup tutorial.
You can do better.
Oh no, I'm
do cooking. Is that this?
That's right. No. Do makeup channel.
You just made a sex dope. I'm triggered. And I'm telling Facebook.
You can do anything that you want.
I am a good
but you don't need to do this. What I'm saying
Yes,
is
I
you
do.
can log for everything.
Yes, I do.
This is people's lives.
No, because I'm good at this. I'm good at exposing your guys' hypocrisy. I'm very good at it. That's why people watch me. Because they love to sit here and see that you guys don't know what you're protesting. You don't know what you're talking about.
Because it assuages a feeling of guilt inside them.
She should go do a makeup tutorial? She should make cooking videos? Well, someone must not have gotten the memo. It's 2024 and the cancel culture exists now.
Lovely. I had a neighbor confront me for using the women's restroom. I lived here for 4.5 years. Everyone should know that I'm a trans woman.
You know what? I'm just going to say it because I'm afraid that if nobody says anything and stands up for this type of behavior, then scared women and girls are going to be the ones paying the price for this. When are we going to draw the line? Because the idea of a grown-ass man walking in after my daughter to the locker room or to the restroom or whatever horrifies me. And it should for every single parent out there.
He is trans? Now they aren't even trying. They are just going on this psychotic rampage because they know that they will get babies by insane people like them. No man will see you and think you're a woman, so I'm sure you're good to go to the man's bathroom where you actually belong.
You're gonna think you don't. I'm watching the golf. Don't Tiger Woods me here like a Jack Nicholson me.
I love the sport, although I don't play it.
Okay.
And
I'm following you. You're not gonna
stay with me. This is gonna make a lot of sense to you. These two professional golfers were being interviewed, and the host said, "What makes a good golfer?" And one of them went through this beautiful, elaborate description of what makes a good golfer, where you put your hands, where your shoulders are, where your legs are, where your eyes are. And the other one went like this. I look to see where the ball lands.
Mm-hmm.
I like where the ball lands on immigration, on abortion, on judges, on taxes, on losing the regulations, on reversing the war against oil and gas, on standing up to China. That's what I like. The rest of it is white noise, pardon the expression.
See how Larry Elder passed his point across with sounding like a child in need of a nap? Very mindful, very demure. See how the other guy just screams and makes accusations? Very woke, very liberal.
In terms of how you behave from your childhood, anything.
I would say it's 100%.
Let's be honest, right?
100%.
100%
Yeah.
correct, right?
Of course.
Okay, so in the case of black people, if you look at 400 years of abuse.
You're not 400 years old, sir.
No. I said black people.
You're not 400 years old. Black people.
I'm not saying me. I'm saying black people.
Nobody black is 400 years old.
Oh, that's just a piece of it. Had to endure the trauma, and now we're still here today. My point is that you say racism is not alive today, but
I didn't say that. You said that.
Okay, what did you say?
Racism is no longer a major problem in America.
Correct.
It's no longer powerful enough to hold anybody back that's willing to work hard and follow the 4 or 5 things I just now mentioned. I never said racism is gone.
I agree with that, but the effects of racism are still very much alive. The effects, and the effects will last generations upon generations.
That's nonsense. 1940, before the Civil Rights Act was passed, before the Voting Rights Act was passed, open housing was passed, 87% of blacks lived.
Okay, finally, someone who was willing to listen, learn, and unlearn. Good for him.
So my question for you is, how do you sleep knowing that you've used power to hurt people instead of help them? And do you believe that the Koch brothers will turn you from a puppet made out of ham into a real boy if you hurt enough people?
Well, this is the wonder of American discourse. As another speaker in our circuit, Ben Shapiro, says, the facts don't care about your feelings. In this case, the reality is...
It's always the obsession with throwing a viral insult, but you just ended on a channel like this, where your foolishness is highlighted in neon colors.
No, again, because the facts are the facts, and I don't listen to, it's why I haven't read the comments on social media for 7.5 years, because people, like your statements, like to make up things that they hear from people that they want to believe, when the reality is, that's one of the problems and actually Barack Obama, I don't often agree with him, but I agreed with something he said the other day. I don't know how many people saw this, but he was talking to his foundation about the climate in America today, particularly on social media. It's part of the reason why I don't read comments on social media, because people on the left and on the right in some cases, so I'm not saying it's exclusive out there, say things based on things they hear from sources they want to believe, as opposed to looking at the facts.
You all need to go back to school and major in LGBTQ studies right now. Please find a cure. Everything is going downhill.
Okay, I see. Okay. And then when it comes to the hoes in different area codes, will you, knowing that you'll only be in a city for a couple hours or maybe just overnight or whatever, will you or other flight attendants be on dating apps? I mean, I know you mentioned your girl, she was on Craigslist trying to set things up before.
Somebody call the cops or the hospital or the asylum. Call somebody. And her hair just had to be blue.
Do you think men can give birth?
I think that
yes or no question.
I think that a person who is assigned male at birth, I don't think they
Assigned
can give birth.
male at birth, so people are not male at birth?
I think that a person...
See, your evidence that college is a scam, my...
He just by himself disputed the entire rubbish he was spewing.
It's only white people equating slavery to owning an abortion. Not once have I heard one black or woman of color.
Faith, do you want to come up here? Because apparently color matters.
I would like to hear from a woman of color why
Sure,
that
Faith,
is racist.
come on up here. Why are you pro-life, Faith?
I am pro-life because life begins in the womb at conception. Our personhood, our rights should not be based on having to be human plus something else. That's exactly what happened with slavery, where we were told that you have to be human plus not black. And now we're saying that you have to be human plus a certain age, or human and in a different location. And so really what abortion is age-based discrimination.
Black people weren't seen as humans.
They weren't seen as human beings. As a black woman and as a person who got my degree in biology, life does begin at conception.
And suddenly, they no longer trust the science that life begins at conception. Funny how that works.
You know how I know I don't look 39?
Sure.
When I first became single, I went on Facebook dating. What they put, that they think that they line you up with according to your age, and it's not correct for me. And I saw what they thought my 39 went, and I was like, I am not a that matches with that. So I went down about 10-year bracket, and then I was like, now we're talking.
Oh, so
I don't accept
catfishing people.
I identify as 33. People can identify whatever the fuck they want now. I was identifying as 29. I just changed it. You're welcome.
Shelly, you are an age identifier?
Yes.
Wow. Shelly,
you don't look 33.
Now, we're experiencing another level of this madness. People identifying as any age they choose. You're just catfishing people. But don't worry, you'd blend in well in this time filled with confused individuals.
Love each other!
I do love you.
Jesus he never said nothing about homosexuality. He taught about love. Love each other as you are. As God made you. He made you in his image. We are all gay because that's how he made us, baby.
Did God make a murderer a murderer? Did God make someone who lied a liar?
Yes.
Did God make God made liars a liar? No. So God gives us free will.
God bless you. Move on.
God gives us free will, and God didn't make you gay.
Move on.
Being gay was a temptation of the devil, and you gave in to the temptation. But Jesus came to set us free from the power of sin. He came to set us free. How am I judging you?
When people are confronted with the truth and are slapped back to reality, they'll accuse you as hate speech.
How you doing, guys? Do you want to tell us why you're here? Can you tell us why you're still wearing a mask? Is that for COVID or to protect your identity? Oh. Touch my...
Don't go. Oh, dear. Whoa. You do not choke me. Don't grab me.
She went from assaulter to victim in a flash.
Transgender boys who might not have their own money to go buy tampons, if they're provided free in the bathroom, it's a huge plus.
Men do not menstruate. Only women menstruate. Now, you can call yourself whatever you want.
Cis men don't menstruate, but trans men do menstruate.
No,
Same
they
as
don't.
non-binary people.
Only women.
Menstruating is not exclusive
Yes,
to
it
cis
is.
women. No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
So explain to me as to why my body menstruated at
If
some
your
point
chromosomes are XX and you're young, you menstruate. If you're XY, you don't.
Correct, but what about trans men and non-binary?
They're
We're
not
excluding
men.
a whole group of
They're
people
women
that
dressed
menstruate.
as men. You are not a man. You can pretend to be a man, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. Live your life and tell me what a man is.
This is a guy who has been dealing with 5th graders for his entire career. That's why he was so qualified to talk to that group.
I think that I would like validation for my gender identity. There are some pictures of me. My pronouns are it and they. I enjoy looking like a clown. I kind of view myself as a doll. I don't abide by gender. I'm built different.
I'm built different. Yeah, built stupid.
A British man who took on a goat's eye view of the world has been rewarded for his efforts.
Because we're all completely trapped inside our own brain and our own perception of the world. Well,
I can't make this stuff up. Thomas Thwaites had a set of prosthetic legs built and spent 3 days living among goats in the Alps. He did it because he wanted a simpler life. And he says it was fascinating, a little bizarre though. Thwaites co-won an IG Nobel Prize for Biology with another man who tried living as several different animals. The IG Nobel Awards. The IG Nobel Awards honor research that may seem bizarre.
The fact that he won a Nobel Prize for it makes it 100-fold funnier, makes you wonder what the criteria for a Nobel Prize includes.
So I have a question for you. Why are you asking me those questions?
What
are you doing?
We're interviewing people at Pride.
Okay.
Like we're interviewing like trans women and stuff like that.
I'm not a trans woman. I'm a.
Oh no, we're fully supportive. Fully supportive. Yeah. So we just want to like talk about like the transitions, like the various challenges we've had.
I am not offended or anything like that.
Okay, yeah, for sure.
So ask me about a question.
Do you want to talk about sort of transitioning or anything like that, or like what people can?
I never transitioned because I was born a woman.
No, of course you're a woman. Of course.
I was born a woman.
Yeah.
Doesn't make it.
Yeah, I completely agree. I'm not here challenging that at all. We're like out here. The whole thing is like being proud and it's like supporting.
Trans woman any less of a woman?
No, you are a woman. That's what I'm saying.
No. Does it make a trans woman any less of a woman?
No, you are 100% a woman.
Is a trans woman any less?
No, 100%. All women are women. Trans women, all women, and like I think you are as much of a woman as any other.
What's your opinion on trans women?
I support them and I love them.
Okay.
Like that's why we're interviewing them. We're showcasing them.
Well, you haven't interviewed one yet because I'm not a trans woman.
Okay. Is there another definition that people like to use, or I don't mean to be.
I was born a woman. I was born with female genitals.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I got it.
The irony of the entire situation is lost on her. Her reaction betrays her actual feelings about trans women. She was horrified and offended to be one.
So I got served today at the pharmacy, and I'm not saying men can't look like this because please go off, kings, but like I'm not doing damage to masculinity. I think y'all are when you serve me, when you call me a man, right? Like I'm not a man. Don't consider me for the pool of men.
Last time I saw a woman with a beard was at a circus. Probably you need to relocate and find your true calling to avoid being misgendered.
It's not complicated, but you also didn't define. So what is a woman? What is a female? What do these words mean?
It's complicated, and I know you're not going to like that answer, but that's because there are no simple answers in human biology.
Let me ask you a question.
You guys,
Can I ask you one last question?
just let me finish. You guys like to bring up high school level biology classes a lot. I get that a lot, but people who go on to more complicated biology classes will talk about sex as a spectrum.
It's not. It's not.
Well, biological researchers would disagree with you.
Well, then they're full of the ones that would say that.
It blows my mind that there are educated people out there who actually argue that a man can just decide to be a woman if he wants. This is such a strange time to be alive.
giant toddler.
If you're going to tell people that this person is a constant threat, why wouldn't somebody try to eliminate that threat?
Then
If
all
this
the
had
right
happened
wing
and
is
it was
guilty,
flipped,
including you.
Tank, you're going to have to learn how to control yourself. I know it's very difficult for you, but you just had a very long time to speak and we were quiet. I promise you can do that. You need to sit on your hands, then you should do that. Weak men are the ones that are going out here
Like
proclaiming that Donald Trump is a threat because they've never had real conflict in their lives. And you're about to see that example right now. Cenk is somebody that grew up obviously with a silver spoon in his mouth. He's never had to fight for anything in his life and has never had to put his life before somebody else's. So it's very easy for him to behave like a toddler who is throwing his toys out of the...
Now, don't you just love Candace Owens? If women actually seek equity and desire women in places that matter to society, if women really want to affect change, they should pay a little more attention to Candace Owens not beat summer politicians and celebrities. I would love to show you something completely ridiculous.
Just a daily reminder that it's not physically possible to earn $1 billion and that humans are really bad at understanding the difference between a million and a billion. 1 million seconds is about 11.5 days. 1 billion seconds is 31.5 years, which means that 2 billion seconds is about 63 years, but 2 million seconds is like 3 weeks. 3 million seconds is about a month. 3 billion seconds is about a century. Billionaire shouldn't exist.
Did anyone ever say millionaires or billionaires made their money $1 per second? Mustaches do not make you smart. Analogies do not make you smart.
So if you had a daughter and she was 10 and she got and she was going to give birth and she would and she was going to give birth and she was going to live, would you want her to go through that and carry her baby?
That's awfully graphic.
It's but it's a real life scenario that happens to many people.
The answer is yes, the baby would be delivered.
Oh, okay, great. So that's insane.
But let me tell you why. No, hold on. Let me ask you a question. There's 2 ultrasounds I have. One is a baby conceived in, one is a baby conceived by a loving couple. Which one is which?
You don't know.
Exactly, because it's all human rights and
But
it's all
that
human beings.
doesn't matter.
So
It's about your daughter who has to give
no.
birth to it and is going to be tortured by that
Hold
for
on
the
a second.
rest of her
You-
life.
you are
That's
not-
going to take away every
Hold on a
freedom
second.
she's ever going to have.
Hold on.
That's going to
Every
ruin
freedom.
her life. She's going
You
to
know
grow
what?
up and she's going to be
Abortion is not a
attached to another
victimless
thing.
crime. The point is how you were conceived is irrelevant. What human rights you get.
But-
hold on one second. If a person conceived and walks down the side of the street, it's not like they don't get First Amendment rights or Second Amendment rights.
It's
or
not
Fourth
about
Amendment
that
rights.
person.
The worst thing to do to that the daughter is to then say, "Hey, we're gonna go for the being inside of you."
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't know.
Listen.
But wouldn't it
No,
be
no.
a better story
No,
to say
it
something
wouldn't.
evil happened and we do something good in the face of
No.
evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then for the being because we're going to pander to the evil? No. What makes the West great is that we do good.
The problem is that we all know that their actual fight is not for children who unfortunately get molested. It's for irresponsible men and women who want to commit foolish actions but get rid of the consequences. That's what it's about. You are not fighting for children. You are not fighting for victims.
I'm voting for Kamala because of the child tax credit and because of
Really?
Yeah.
You know the one that Trump had in his tax cut?
No, I know. It's a good thing though. I agree with it both.
Yeah, so do you think that Kamala would manage the economy well?
Yeah.
Why hasn't she done it the last 3.5 years?
She's the vice president. Are we gonna
You're right.
act like the vice president is managing the economy?
Do you think Joe Biden's running the economy right now?
I think the White House senior staff.
Hold on a second. If
staff.
Kamala Harris wanted to run the country, she could. How did Kamala Harris do with running the border?
How
many illegals have come in under her watch? Can you guess?
7 million. I obviously don't know the number off the top of my head.
It's 10 million people. Is that a success?
I don't think the border wall would be any more of a success.
Well, hold on. Under Trump, border crossings were at an all-time low. Kamala Harris, 10 million people have illegally come to this country, which is more than the population of New Jersey. Why does she deserve to be a president when she can't even manage the border?
Why? Okay, so, yeah, I know. The bill that Biden and Harris put in to increase the border patrol.
No. Don't. 1 second, please. No.
Yeah.
It's not about the bill. You could do this all by executive order. Remain in Mexico. They've decided to empower the foreign invasion. Kamala Harris has overseen the border. She failed. She oversaw the Russian-Ukrainian dispute, went to the Munich Security Conference, and hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians died. She was the deciding vote on the Inflation Explosion Act that makes everyone have to pay more in goods and services. Her first day was 3.5 years ago as VP. What has she done that has given you confidence she'll do a good job as president?
I mean, she inherited a bad COVID economy and it's gotten better. It has. Like, it's gotten better since the COVID. Yes, the economy is better since the end of COVID.
Prices are higher. People can't afford homes. 1.5 million people lost their jobs in the last year. You ask anybody in the economy, the American people don't agree with it, by the way. 75% of Americans disapprove of the economy right now.
Yeah.
But if she was so good, by the way, so she says, I'm going to do no tax on tips, stole it from Trump. Why doesn't she just tell the IRS to do that right now?
Right. She's been in there years.
I don't honestly know much about tax on tips and the IRS.
These are the kind of people who get to decide and vote for leaders.
I mean, we already went to the border, but just like, you got to give me something, or the audience, like, make the case. Like, we're here in a battleground state, Wisconsin. Like, show me the case. I'll give you the case. Trump was president for 4 years. People were richer, world was safer, border was secure. Things were going really, really well. We respect our own. Kamala Harris, like, what's the thing? What's the sales pitch? Outside of vibes and brat summer, like, what is the pitch?
I mean, abortion's a big one. We're going to disagree on it, but I think it should be
okay. Let's say you're right on abortion.
Yeah.
Okay, where is that the most important civilizational issue? While we're on like,
it's pretty important to a lot of people.
So just let me understand. So Donald Trump says leave it to the states. How would that impact Wisconsin?
So Wisconsin is this extremely gerrymandered state. Most of our statewide elected officials are Democrats, and our state legislature is almost a supermajority of Republicans. It's not reflective of what the state actually wants. And the law we're defaulting to is from 1849, I think. So it's left to the states, but we're not going to pass any new, we're going to default to 1849.
Well, isn't there a ballot referendum around it? It's on the ballot, right? Yeah, I was going to say, Wisconsin just legalized abortion. So how would Trump even interfere with your abortion plans?
I don't think I think it's by appointing pro-life judges to circuit courts and things like that. That's the main way.
Okay, so the case for Kamala is that Donald Trump might appoint circuit court judges.
He's going to appoint worse judges. That's one of the most important parts of the presidency.
So I'm just being clear.
Appointing judges like
well, first of all, I think his judges were amazing and upheld the Constitution and the rule of law and all that. But it's remarkable to me that like the lack of the case for Kamala. Does it bother you? We can talk in a second. Does it bother you that she does not take questions from the press? I've been here for 3 hours. She will not take 5 minutes of questions. Does that bother you? For a president, not a senator, a president.
I haven't watched her on the press a lot, so
because you wouldn't be able to watch her on the press because she doesn't talk to the press.
Like she bitched.
It's fine. If she's not talking to the press, I think she should talk to him more. It's not going to change my vote.
These ones, if she is elected, it's gonna be 4 years of vibey poverty and brat violence.
What do you feel if Usain Bolt suddenly identified as a woman?
That's a ridiculous question.
Oh,
and you know
why?
it is. Come on, that's
Why?
silly. Because you can't wake up tomorrow morning and decide that you're a woman and start competing.
It's literally what Leah Thomas has done.
It takes 2 years. In the UK, it takes 2 years.
It takes 1 year to qualify in athletics, right? So Usain Bolt could potentially, within a year, with a bit of reduced testosterone treatment, he could sprint against women.
A huge reduction in testosterone.
Yeah. It makes no difference to body mass or size or power.
But it would
speed.
It would alter everything.
So would you be fine with that?
If he suddenly did, if that's...
You respect his right to be a woman. It's not ridiculous. It is ridiculous, but not for the reasons you think. Because it could happen. And you think it's fair.
That's obscene. That is obscene.
Would you be happy if Usain Bolt identified as a woman and began winning the races against women by 2 seconds?
You're making an extreme argument out of what are people's lives.
It's happening with Leah Thomas.
It is fair to say that it is only ridiculous when it does not fit their agenda. She just admitted the whole gender ideology is ridiculous, and yet she tries so hard to defend her ridiculous position.
Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing that.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you, or are they
Absolutely.
also treated like this, where
No,
they're
they're
told
allowed
that
to
they're
question.
opening up people to violence?
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning.
class. You should join.
Oh, I bet.
You might learn a lot.
The moment you ask questions about what their thought process is like, they claim that you are being transphobic. Common. We are just trying to understand whether you went to biology classes.
I'm asking you, is your mother see you leave out the house like that? Because at this point, that's who I'm going to call. Your mother.
Call her. She's not going to answer.
Well, somebody gonna have to come get you because you cannot be in school like this.
Why can't why?
Because it's inappropriate.
What's inappropriate?
Everything you have on. No, everything you have on is
What we're all wearing is
inappropriate.
inappropriate.
Everything you have on is inappropriate.
It's a hot
I've got
mess.
clothes on. I got top and bottom.
Top and bottom. You thought you was gonna come to school.
I thought I
I'm
was gonna come
sure
to
your
school,
mother.
learn a lesson in my top and my bottom, and then let's learn a lesson.
No, you ain't gonna learn a lesson in my class. The lesson is to put clothes on in the morning when you come.
Nothing screams I want attention like going half naked to classes. This is the kind of thing you have nightmares about, but seeing it as someone's reality is beyond me.
Life begins when you understand living women matter more than potential babies.
What is it?
What do you mean?
If it's a potential baby, what is inside of a woman?
It's a fetus.
Is it living?
No.
How can it grow if it's not living?
Actually, that's like saying if an acorn is a tree.
When does the fetus become living?
Nope.
That's actually a good question, but that line.
Yeah, of course, because you don't know it, because it's living. It's living.
Oh, wait a second, but I got something for her.
When does this clump of cells or fetus become living?
When it can sustain its own life.
But when is that? When is the sustainability? How do you sustain life? Like, my newborns aren't sustainable. You can't just have a newborn and they just like live on their own, right?
Right.
She could not even sustain the argument. Imagine being proud of yourself for being able to read that off your paper.
So I was a 7th grade civics teacher, government teacher, and she is an elementary school teacher.
What year did we get our independence?
17 something. We're teachers. I actually don't teach what's in our curriculum. I'm teaching children social studies that's not in our curriculum, teaching them things about how to be an anti-racist. I taught them about protesting. I taught them about Black Lives Matter.
Would you imagine that? Who would have thought? Woke teachers teaching woke topics. How original. Congratulations, parents. Your children are going to graduate to be allies, anti-racist, protesters, and illiterates.
Buddy, he pooped his pants. Oh. Whoa. Damn.
Well, at least this child does not sound like he's learning woke social studies in school. A win is a win, ladies and gentlemen.
But like, you think this is wifey material?
Are you saying that I'm not? Are you saying that I'm not?
Shit, bro, come here, when you what's up? Hey, do you think she's wifey material by showing her out?
Who? Wifey material by showing I mean, she's pretty fine. You know, I don't know about wifey material by showing her
because wifey material doesn't define what you're wearing. It's the type of person that you are.
Nah, true shit. Okay, I agree. But if I let's say if I was your boyfriend, I wouldn't like you to be wearing this shit.
But you're not giving. You're not. She's my girlfriend.
No, I'm not. That's why I don't give a.
I want my girlfriend to wear this. I think my girlfriend looks hot. I want my girl to go out like that.
But I agree. What is a guy gonna think when he sees this?
She a little.
Everybody be like, oh, she's hot.
Just thinking as a guy.
Excuse me? So you're calling me a.
That's the way guys think.
So yes or no? Are you calling me?
I am.
Wow.
That's the way guys think.
The fuck? My girlfriend.
Yeah. I don't know the way guys think.
So basically you're small.
When you disagree with an out-of-control woman, you're small. It's small D energy. Okay, fine. Whenever a woman disagrees with a man, can we tell her it's because she's ugly? I mean, equal rights is directly proportional to equal lefts, no?
So I want to ask you, what do you think about veganism? Vegetarianism.
I am not a fan of veganism, but you have a right to be vegan, obviously.
So let me clarify. Yeah. You on abortion, you support pretty much banning abortion in most situations.
Yes, but humans are not rabbits.
Yes, so
and humans are not deer, and humans are not cows.
Okay, so I want to ask you, do you think it's a little bit hypocritical that you oppose abortion, but you also oppose veganism? Most animals, most adult, like cows, pigs, chickens, they're more intelligent than fetuses and little children, small infants.
I can't believe
I have never heard that one before. We are comparing cows to babies now.
Okay, if you leave a cow for 5 years, will the cow ever be able to talk?
No.
If you leave a fetus for 5 years, will the fetus be able to talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure,
so
maybe.
then which one has reason and a soul and can make sense of the natural world, aka an elevated being worthy of protection?
But that's
a cow
not
or a human being?
That's not a good argument. That's like saying mute humans that are born that are without the ability to speak can't have rights.
It's not just about speaking, it's about reason, it's about having a soul, it's about being not an animal. What is a human being to you?
A human being is someone who grows, who has personality, and someone who can speak. And if you mean like biologically, like someone of
just give me a definition of you have a dog and a human being. How do you know which is which?
A human being can walk and talk and yeah.
A dog can walk.
Yeah, but I can't walk and talk. Sure.
Here's the difference: a human being can tell you the difference between right and wrong. An animal can only tell you the difference between pleasure and pain.
Yeah, but animals still suffer like human fetuses do.
But again, the moral worth of a human being is objectively different because we are able to make moral contentions, not just contentions based on how we feel. Animals can only feel; they cannot reason.
Yeah, but
and therefore we should be treated different morally. Now, from a typical Western religious view, we have souls as human beings, and animals do not.
Is his argument actually that we are the same as animals? Or animals are treated better? Or getting abortions is similar to being omnivores? I am very baffled. This is an adult college student. College might be a scam after all. I'll just throw in one more crazy. Imagine getting enraged over the idea that it's beneficial for children to grow up in a loving household where the parents stay together and instill good values. Wokies don't care much about what you have to say as much as they care about what they think is the truth. You could be saying the right thing and they still get triggered.
Right, the moment it looks like it's just over the top, like it's everywhere you go, is pride, 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 pride. Do we need to be that exuberant about it?
Are you blaming gay people for that? I mean,
no.
I thought the companies...
Honestly, I don't care what sexuality anybody is. I don't think most people do anymore.
Right, so what is the problem then? Why are you so triggered by a flag?
I'll tell you what
it's a rainbow flag. You mentioned Regent Street.
I'm not triggered by a rainbow flag. I'm triggered by the fact that everywhere I go for a calendar month, everything has to be a rainbow flag.
Well, I'm triggered that everywhere I go for the entire year, everything has to be straight. Why is straight everywhere?
My straight flag?
Why am I constantly getting straight?
Where is my straight flag?
Why are straight people holding hands in the street?
When have you ever seen a straight flag?
Why is Mickey Mouse got a girlfriend?
Tell me one straight flag hanging right now anywhere in the world.
Why are straight people
Where
pushing
is the straight flag?
Identity?
Where's the straight flag?
Everywhere.
Where's my straight flag?
It's everywhere.
It's never been a straight flag.
You're a straight flag.
Let me bring Tommy back, because this made me laugh. Demi Lovato has revealed she got tired of using they, them pronouns.
We would definitely make a lot of progress if they show us the so-called flag.
I think I didn't give permission to film me. I don't want to be filmed. Public stream, you don't need your permission. Cool.
You literally walked up to him and took a photo without his permission.
I'm not being put on f***ing TV, though, you know?
Are you worried you're going to come off looking stupid?
No. It's not something I want to debate. That was just very typical of the level of intelligence. Oh, he's back.
Don't you find it funny that you said you don't want to be on film, you walked up, you took a photo without his consent, then you complained about being filmed without consent, and then you just won't leave us alone?
Being interviewed and photographed, you know?
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Okay, so you didn't have to answer. It's just being photographed without consent is the same thing.
I want to be interviewed.
And you're still here.
Don't do to others what you don't want to do to you is a logic that eludes wokies. It is fine when you do it to others, but you remember legal rights when they do it to you.
I just want to ask you what you as a male, just like would guess you are a male, think you have the right to speak up and tell women what to do with their body?
Are men allowed to have opinions on moral topics?
Yeah, you are of course allowed to have opinions, but it's a really controversial opinion to tell a woman what to do with their body. You are a man, and it's not your field-based eye.
So if it's not your DNA, why is it your choice?
Of course, it's my body.
It happens to be temporarily in your body, but is it your being?
Yeah.
It is? Didn't the woman make a choice to have sex and then she should carry the responsibility that comes with it?
I think there are two people who should carry the responsibility, not only the woman.
Okay, wait, hold on. So then shouldn't a man be able to say, you can't have an abortion without my consent? I thought you said it was just a woman's issue.
Most wokies won 100% of the rights, but 0% of the responsibility. She did not even realize that she was making his point for him.
What is something weird about conservatives?
There is almost a cultish vibe, I feel. The way they operate within themselves, they refuse to listen to outside people, you know, they're refusing to learn, essentially. I think that is a large part of it.
This is not a drill. This is not a skit. I repeat, this is not a skit. Somebody do something. It keeps getting worse.
Why do people go to prison?
For breaking the law?
There you go. So if there's too many people in prison, they commit too many crimes. Okay. There's other factors that play into crime, fatherlessness and other things.
And how does that occur?
Why is there fatherlessness? Because we subsidize single motherhood in our country, and we have since the 1960s. Well, so let's ask the question. So let me ask the question. So if people decide to do drugs, whose fault is that? But even if coke gets run in the city, do you have to use it?
The question is, it's there.
Oh,
and part of our decisions are always rested when the material
let's play this
conditions that
out.
we're living in.
If cocaine was right here and I took it, is it the person who dropped it there or my fault if I took it?
I think the question of fault
Wrong.
is a wrong
My
one.
fault. I believe that people are responsible for their own decisions, not society.
I don't think they even hear themselves when they speak. They just want to be the opposite of the conservative view, that's it. If you blame society for every wrong, there should be no prison or law enforcement. Do you see how bad that could turn out to be?
So a leftist student on campus just called campus security on us because apparently we were terrorizing people and riling people up with our dangerous, horrible ideas.
Hi, there are two people on our campus right here who are with a conservative group who are here to try to fearmonger students. Well, they're going up to students and they're trying to ask them questions and such.
The goal.
I can help. Could you remove these two from the campus, please? The reason? Because they're here to fearmonger students and that's not okay.
Fearmonger?
Yeah, because these are people who are coming in and instigating and terrorizing our students on this campus and that's not okay.
Are they threatening you specifically in any way?
They're threatening me with their language, so there's nothing you guys can do?
No, sir, that's freedom of speech. I'm trying to figure out what law they're breaking right now. So I'm trying to figure that out. That's why I'm asking you. You just keep giving me ideas, your opinions. And the law is not about opinions, it's about facts.
Are we done here, guys? Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Sorry for offending you. Anyway,
I'm telling my mommy. That's exactly what that interaction looked like. This is an adult male calling campus security because some people he doesn't agree with are speaking. A grown man.
Trump or Kamala?
I want Kamala to win.
I've been voting Democratic since '72.
What's on Kamala's 100-day plan?
I don't. Has she published it yet?
No, which is pretty shocking that she hasn't published it.
She's hinted at a few things.
She's only been running for 7 weeks.
Well, yeah, because she committed a coup against Biden. That's why she's only been running for 7 weeks. No one voted for her. Like, she wasn't elected.
Well, she was elected.
She was elected.
No, she wasn't. The people didn't vote for her in the primaries.
Trump just had token opposition himself because his party is a cult.
Trump ran against Nikki Haley, ran against Ron DeSantis, ran against Vivek Ramaswamy. He didn't even show up to a debate and he still won. Like, the people voted for him. The Democrat base didn't even vote for Kamal. No, but you could say he's an idiot, but we're talking here about legislation.
I think this interview is over. You're not even showing her the courtesy of pronouncing her name properly. So I think I don't want to talk anymore.
Why not? Because you can't defend and stand on your beliefs?
It would be great if Biden held to his original plan to be a one-term president, but unfortunately it took him a long time to realize that he should retire. So this was the best alternative on short notice.
But Kamal's been the vice president. Biden's been cooked since 2020. No, it's Kamal. Yo, in 2024 I can identify as whatever I want. Like, I can call her Kamal if I feel like it.
It's not you're identifying as anything. It's you're not gracious enough to pronounce her name the way that she pronounces her.
Okay, I'll pronounce it right. Camilla. Wait, are you walking away? You guys are just as senile as Biden or what?
She's upset over the name pronunciation. Side note, did anyone else find it obnoxious that she had a whole show because she wanted her name pronounced correctly? She's been vice president for 4 years. I'm sure she could have brought that up amidst her coconut tree speeches. Instead, she decided to use adorable children to pass the time because she didn't have anything better to do.
Hold on, don't shout at me. You came voluntarily. Did I ask you to come? I'm defending fascism. No, I'm exposing you as a fascist.
How am I a fascist for people who are
But see, the problem is, sometimes you get speakers like me who are not scared of people like you. Ultimately, you are afraid of ideas. You're not willing to engage with me. You think I pose a threat to you? I'm an immigrant. I came to America with nothing. What threat do I pose to you?
You promoted dangerous, violent ideas that kill millions of people.
I propose dangerous, violent ideas to kill people? Who have I killed?
And you look like capitalism.
Do you realize that Hitler's deadly opponent was capitalism? The fascist ideology is one that is distinctly on the left. And the idea that the fascists are right-wing because they support racial superiority? Wait a minute. The guy who showed the Ku Klux Klan movie in the White House was Woodrow Wilson, a progressive Democrat. So progressivism was married to racism at the hip. So don't pretend it was a right-wing phenomenon. It wasn't.
She got verbally destroyed by someone who uses English as his second language. That's just embarrassing.
When black people kill black people, they don't come out and do this crap. The only time they do this crap is when a white person touches them. They're the racists.
You're not here to fight injustice. You're here to cause drama.
I am black. I'm not oppressed. I am free.
That's good for you. That's an individual person. What about a systemic issue?
Where? I am black. I do what I want. You have the skills. This is a country where you have the skills. You want to do what you want. You do it. Stop forcing on people to accept that they're oppressed. They are not. I am not oppressed. I am black. Stop making people accept that they're oppressed. You're forcing a rhetoric into your minds, which is not true. That's my point. Okay. Violence is wrong, period. It's not about blacks. Have you seen any white person coming out and saying white lives matter? No, violence is wrong.
They literally do all the time. Every time there's a Black Lives Matter protest, a white person.
It's a violence problem. You guys are wasting everybody's time.
A white woman is explaining how to be black to a black woman. This is priceless.
Understand what's going on though?
Yes.
You're going into oncoming traffic.
I know, and I just decided that it was better just to turn around really quick. So,
Okay.
But I'm sorry. I just have like really bad social anxiety and stuff.
I get you.
I don't want to step out whenever you're asking for stuff.
Okay, well we're past that. Just go ahead and step out.
As an indigenous person.
Right back here, please. Miss Perry?
Well, I'm non-binary, so.
Okay. What do you go by?
It's Kai.
How can I refer to you tonight? Kai? Okay. Hey, I'm smelling alcohol.
I know.
How much have you consumed tonight?
Like probably 3 drinks.
I need to run you through some tests right now. Stand facing me, please.
But I just want you to know that I also have very bad social anxiety.
You and me both.
Okay.
Okay. Any recent head trauma, traumatic brain injuries, anything I need to know about?
Mental, yes.
Focus on my finger, please.
I am. You're just like trying to intimidate me.
I don't know how I'm trying to do that. This is the test.
As you know, as an indigenous person, and there's a bunch of going around, I'm sorry, but it's just for me to be on my toes.
I get you.
Can you remember that I told you that I'm non-binary?
Yeah, I'll try my hardest. I'll refer to you as Kai, right?
Yes.
Perfect. I need to know if you have any injuries or anything that would prevent you from doing a standard walk or a turn tonight.
Mental health.
Any physical injuries?
Mental, yeah. But no, I'm just saying.
Okay.
Mental, PTSD, depression, anxiety.
I get you.
What else you want?
Now with your right foot, place it in front of your left in a heel-to-toe touching manner with your arms by your side, just like this, ma'am.
Can you not call me ma'am, please?
I'm trying my hardest.
Okay, well.
Okay.
It means a lot to me.
I'm trying my
I
hardest.
don't feel like a man, so.
Okay.
It's kind of triggering.
Right foot in front of your left. Nope, go back.
I'm sorry, but the whole man thing just like.
I apologize. Let's see if we can move forward from it. You have 0 questions?
No, but I just want to tell you that I suffer from really bad anxiety, especially with generational trauma and PTSD around white people and cops. Like, it's just.
I'm going to speak with you right over here, okay?
No.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and place your hands behind your back.
Don't, dude.
Don't make it hard.
Please.
Don't make it hard.
No,
Don't. You're going to get a resistance.
Dude,
She threw the whole book of liberal language and still got arrested.
What do you guys think about the wage gap?
I'm gonna make less just because I'm a woman, but also because I'm black. I mean, it's outrageous.
We're actually talking about the OnlyFans wage gap between men and women. Oh, you don't want to talk about it? No. Don't you think they should be paid the same? Equality. Men are ugly, there you go.
It is inequality when men get paid more than women, but it is perfectly fine when women get paid more. What is the definition of double standards with a high dose of hypocrisy again?
Yeah, this is him. I called up my dad and I said, hey, guess what? Your grandson, gay, 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 gay. My dad says, you can't just say that your baby is gay before he gets a chance to tell us he's gay. And I go, whoa, 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 whoa. Straight people do it all the time. Little baby boy is born. Oh, he's gonna be a heartbreaker. Little baby girl is born. Oh, you better lock her up when she turns 16. Clearly, people want their children to be straight. Well, my son is gay. Gay. Very gay.
The people I pity the most are these children who are confused from such a tender age. Their only fault is being born to a parent who thinks things like this makes them different from the others.
Specifically about anything you really said tonight, although I don't really agree with anything you said.
Okay.
I'm proudly part of the LGBTQ community. I've always stood up for my community whenever I needed to. I want to focus specifically on, I've been listening to you for a little bit just to understand some things. A live stream you did about Pride Month in June on Facebook because you were no longer allowed on YouTube. The event that you were talking about, I actually had the honor of attending that event with a lot of my really close friends, and I found it very perplexing to me how you choose to only focus on the things that are negative when it comes to the queer community.
Sorry, when it comes to what community?
The queer community.
Okay.
Do you not realize that people like you and people like the people you're around and that, continue to have this idea of us are the reason we feel that we have to be so openly proud of who we are? Your demented homophobic and transphobic rhetoric and rants just further prove our point that we have to fight loudly to be respected. The reason that LGBTQIA+ suicide rates are so high in this country isn't just because we're part of the community. It's because there are people like you who make us feel like we don't belong. The only LGBTQ agenda we have is...
Okay, is there a question in there or a speech?
Yes.
You got to ask a question, buddy. I know you wrote this out in your notes, but ask a question. Let's go.
How do you think other people who, with your beliefs, respond to the fact that your hateful and harmful rhetoric costs the lives of queer children every single day, on average, every 45 seconds?
Okay, so this is just going to be a pure boogeyman. You're pretending that someone committed suicide because of Candace Owens. You've got no facts here. You're just going, it's your rhetoric that's causing all of this. And when in reality, you want to talk about the tea. I sat down with a man named Attire who was convinced to chop his penis off after your community told him that there was something wrong with him because he had confusion of people who have changed their parts and can't go back. And you know what happens? Suicide rates go up after they transition. And Candace Owens wasn't the one that chopped their off. Great. Next question.
It is high time these people stop blaming everyone else except themselves. Taking responsibility is not exactly woke people's greatest forte. You got to this point without leaving angrily. You deserve a big thumbs. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and most all, stay unwoke.